And what a better place than in my office. So I'm going to talk to you all today about independent contracting, and what better place than in my office. There's plenty of them out there. I'm sure you guys have heard of Uber and Lyft. Well, there's Grubhub, Postmates, Caviar, Amazon Flex. There's a whole list of them. And I'm going to tell you a little rundown of some of my experiences with all these. First of all, Uber, it's a taxi service. And from my experience, avoid rush hour, but try to stick to those airport runs. And spoiler alert, I do have a little trick that they've kind of fixed, so it might not apply anymore. But I used to have two phones that, one phone I would have with a fake GPS app sitting at the queue at the airport while I was waiting there and watching the countdown. 124 cars, 78 cars, 26 cars. I gotta head over there. I would be delivering food through Postmates or Grubhub or wherever. Some of these places are kind of neat because they'll give you a card, and some of them you literally just walk in, take it, deliver it, boom. And I'll show you a quick demonstration here. So pretty much you get an alert through any of these apps for the most part. Some of these you schedule your shift, Amazon Flex, Instacart. But basically it's all self-explanatory. You accept it, you go to the spot, you go in there, you get what you need, you take it to the person and click OK. Pretty much at arrival, got it, boom, good to go. Delivery, boom, I'm here, gave it to the customer, boom. Some of these places, they have the worst customer service, like Postmates. I've never had a chance to even talk to them. I just applied and then boom, here's your stuff, it's in the mail, go, cool. Download the app, say you're online, good to go. And that's the nice part about all these. You can go online and, or you can just click online whenever you want. You can make your own schedule. That's the best part about all of this. And if you know how to do it right, personally, I avoid rush hour by any means, because it gets too crowded. Even with the boosts sometimes it's like, oh, I made $7 this hour. Okay, well, 3 hours ago when there was next to no traffic or in a different part of town, it was okay, I was making 25 an hour. So it's all variable. But the nice part about it is you can make your own schedule through all these. And here is, I've done a lot of research, and I've picked out as many of these as I possibly can. Some of these, you deliver food. Sometimes you might not want to deliver food. Sometimes you want to go deliver a person. Uber. Sometimes, like Instacart and even through Postmates, you go to a grocery store and you do shopping lists. I've picked up at 7-Eleven. One time I got sent to Home Depot just for moving boxes. Uber now does tips, which is nice. Postmates does tips, and a lot of these places, Grubhub and whatnot, they do tips. The weird thing is, Amazon Flex, they do tips, but who tips on a mail delivery thing? And the coolest part about being an independent contractor, I mean, you gotta make sure, you gotta pay your own gas, you gotta pay your insurance, and if a tire goes out, like what actually just happened to me last night, you gotta take care of that yourself. So you gotta make sure you always have a little budget to survive on. But if you know what you're doing and you got a good grasp on it, you can do this anywhere. Like, I'm from Colorado, and currently I just dropped into Seattle. I was like, hey, I'm gonna work here. Easy, just download the app. Boom, good to go. So, being an independent contractor, if you don't have kids, if you don't have a wife, that kind of stuff, I mean, you can even take them with you on a lot of these. Like Postmates, you can have your girl, your guy, your significant other next to you the whole time. You can even have your kids in the back, as long as you get the food from one place to the next. But you can always switch it up. So it's like, okay, today I'm just going to drive people around and spark up some conversations, have a good time. Next day you're like, I don't want to deal with people. So just go to restaurants, grab their food, deliver it. Grab their food, deliver it. Maybe do a grocery run. Instacart's an interesting one. You do have to go to a physical orientation where they give you your card. But like in Colorado, it's mainly Whole Foods, well, or so they say, mainly Whole Foods. But I always got sent to independent, organic places. But anyways, with Instacart, you basically do grocery shopping for people. And I've only done it a couple times, but it seems to pay less than the other ones. But even Postmates can pay pretty shitty. Even Postmates can pay not that well. So, yesterday I started a new one, Amazon Flex. It was a 5-hour route, and it got, for your route you get paid a set amount of money. So it was $96 for what I was doing last night, and I finished it in 2 hours. I just grabbed my packages, ran through the route really fast, and then boom, I was done early. So instead of like a per hour pay, I was making like just under $50 an hour. I'm not saying that's the best case scenario, because I've heard plenty of people where they take longer than the segmented time, so they're making like 11 to 12 bucks an hour. And I mean, when you're doing independent contract work, sometimes you're making $0 an hour. Keep that in mind. You have to be disciplined. You have to do it for a little bit so you understand the city, the roads, the neighborhoods, Like, I'm from Colorado, and I have at least 5 to 7 years between delivery and commercial driving experience. So this all comes natural to me, plus retail and customer service, so for those tips. But you got to plan it all correctly. Back in Denver, I would avoid 3 to 6 p.m., 6:30 p.m. I mean, I would do mid-afternoon, I would do mornings, and I would do nights, or the outskirts of town, or focus on airport runs, but I would avoid going towards the center of town during rush hour. Because one, you're not making any money, and it's like not even worth it. Out here in Seattle, you gotta pay everywhere to park, and sometimes I get frustrated because I'm going around the block 3 or 4 times waiting for a car to pull out just so I can have a spot, and I gotta run in there fast enough, grab the food, get back out before like a meter maid or somebody comes by, because if I'm paying to park for every single stop, I'm like, okay, well then I'm making like $4 an hour. It's not even worth it. So you gotta do your thing, if you know what I mean. But the nice part is, sign up for a lot of these. You're gonna have to double dip if you actually want to do it as a living, become an independent contractor. Even back home, I found, and I'm sure other cities, they have it as well, becoming a processor, where you, a server processor, where you just go door to door and you try to serve people. There's independent contract work out there. You just show up, they hand you the papers, you go to the addresses, try to serve them. If you serve them, I mean, you record it through their apps, and, but you record it through their apps, and then boom, it's kind of the same concept, but that is more not like a company like Grubhub and whatnot. It's more of a literally like this building independent contract work. So you're gonna have to hop on Craigslist. That's where I found mine. And there's so much more you can do. I found I'm not too interested in it, but if you are, I found apps, same concept as Uber, same concept as Postmates, where you just log on, say you're available, you can schedule it sometimes. But go be a dog walker or a dog sitter. You can run chores through TaskRabbit. I signed up for it, I ran the background check, you gotta pay like 20 or 25 bucks for that. And I'm busy with all these other ones that I'm like, I haven't even really looked at that app. But there's a lot of stuff like that you could do. And at the moment, it's only in 14 cities, but Tackle, Takl. That one's another fun one, because you can literally do almost any handyman type of work in an Uber type of platform, which is awesome. Welcome to the future. Pioneering the digital age. But let's say you're a plumber. Let's say your dad's a plumber. Something of the rather. Get this app. Sign up for it. It's only in 14 cities, but I know it's going to eventually be everywhere. Tackle. Personally, I'm signed up for IT work, so want me to hook up your printer? Got you. Want me to hook up your internet? Got you. Got a virus? I got you. And art tutoring, and if you look at my other stuff, I make a lot of art. I'll teach you how to do this. So that's what I'm signed up for. But let's say you clean houses. You can do that in the app. Let's say you just gonna mow lawns. You can do that in the app and find it. It's an awesome platform. But if you combine all these, you can literally go through your weeks. Like, I feel like doing this today. I feel like doing that today. I don't want to work today. I want to go do this. As long as you're disciplined and you're getting those hours to get your money, and you can grasp the concept, because you're going to have to know what parts of town are the best, where you can get back-to-back orders. I mean, obviously, downtown, yes, order, 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 but sometimes it's way too frustrating. Um, like, with some of these apps, the University District by DU in Denver, that's where you'd want to go. Colorado Boulevard is much better than actually going down to 16th Street, because it's a pain to park on 16th, and that's actually kind of what it's like in Seattle, but everywhere, all the districts. It's interesting. But yeah, but the nice part is, like Caviar, that's for me, I'm only able to do that in Seattle, but like Postmates, I can do that in, I don't know how many cities, dozens out there. Uber, you're gonna have to do like a background check every time you move, but if you know what you're doing and you want to hop on board with this, sign up for all of these apps. Sign up for all of them, and whatever you feel like doing. I did it for a month. I lived out of my car. I started in hotels, and I was like, let's go check this out. So, I mean, if you're daring as such, just hop in your car. You can go anywhere, work anywhere. It's awesome. Um, but if you are going to do the whole traveling with it, uh, if you are going to do the whole traveling experience with it, look into hostels, and Hostel World is an app, because you can. I mean, it's all dorm style, but you can live with other people, two other people, one other person, five other people, depending on the place. I've seen ones out in Vegas for like $12 a night. I've heard of ones out in Louisiana for $8 a night. Here in Seattle, they're like $40 a night, but if you look at the hotel prices, that's a really good deal. So that's another idea. You could, in theory, you could just go get a van, live in your van and do this, but a downside to that is gas money. It's going to eat up your gas. That's why I drive a Mitsubishi. Great on gas mileage. Between 25 and 35, that is ideal. Anything under 20, you just wouldn't be making any money. It would be going into your gas tank and lunch, and you'll be broke the next day, pretty much. So keep that in mind. It can be a lot to take on, and some of these places, they, like Uber, they hook you up with a rental car or whatnot. I'm telling you right now, be wary about that, because one week I had a bad week. I mean, I had a lot of personal issues going on. I didn't really work, and next thing you know, I'm in the hole, and I have to get out of the whole lease program with Uber. And it's like, great, that was the car I was using. So keep that in mind if you try to hop on board with that route. But if you do that, in the paperwork it says you're not allowed to double dip, pretty much. You can't do Uber and Lyft with the rental program. So keep that in mind as well. You're gonna have to. It's best just to get your own car. Unfortunately, I'm in one of the cities that Uber can only go 10 years back, but in a lot of cities it goes all the way back to 2002 for the car year. You do have to get like a razor inspection, so you're gonna have to make sure your AC works. You're gonna have to make sure your shocks, it's a smooth ride, So this is a lot of information to grasp, but if it's something you want to do, I would highly recommend it, because shoot, I can go anywhere. I can go down the coast if I felt like it. I can go down, work in LA, San Diego, and even Tackle's down there, but it's not up here in Seattle yet. But I'm doing Amazon up here, and that seems pretty good. So, I mean, you could almost literally just be on an endless road trip and make money. And let's say next summer, that's what you want to do. This summer, whatever time of the year you're watching this. You can go do that. It's like, hey, I'm going to Cali for the summer. Boom, sign up for these apps. Make money out there. While you're doing this, it'll help you survive. You'll get your money. You'll get your hotel money. So, I hope this was somewhat informative and enlightening. Because welcome to the future. If you're going to go down that route, a good alternative is make sure you sign up for People Ready, Command Center, anything of the nature, anything of those temp work jobs. I signed up back home in Denver, and as soon as I got out to Seattle, I showed up at the office. I was like, hey, am I signed up? Yep. Boom. Normally during a weekday, I got sent out the same day out on whatever. I've done security for Grateful Dead. I've torn down servers, but now I just get calls back and let them know that CDL stuff. Hit me up. Boom. So, and back home, it's like $9, $12, depending on the shift. So it's good to have those on the side as well, just in case it's a slow day or something of the rather. And those offices are coast to coast, so almost any major city you can do all of this in.